Hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another Project Cars 2 video, where in today's video I'm going to be going over all my in-game settings and the wheel settings for my Fanatec 2.5 wheelbase in 2020. So let's make a start by just calibrating our wheel. Now in the tuning section of the wheel itself, I can set the rotation to 360 degrees or higher, and it literally locks the wheel out so I can't turn it any further. So as you can see here, I do 180 degrees or thereabouts and it locks the wheel. Come back the other way and press the A button for my 360 degrees. Once we've done that, we're going to just move on to the pedals and just calibrate each pedal. So just pressing on the throttle pedal, whichever one you've got assigned, and then obviously onto the brake pedal. Now I'm pressing really hard to get mine to brake. I've got a very hard brake pedal, which is, as I'm being told, very much like most GT3 cars. So let's move on to the other section. Obviously when we get onto this screen, you'll see that this was my old wheel that I first installed when I started the game, the Fanatec Club Sport wheel. Now even though I've got the GT3 wheel on, it doesn't change on screen. I think this is a bit of an issue within the game itself, but even if you go down any of these, try moving them left and right and nothing at all happens. So moving on into the configuration section, now I'll just run the screen down through each one of these, not really explaining why they're there, but they're just all really very central. I'm not using a controller, so none of these really make any difference at all. Now when we move into the key assignments, I will just go through a few of these, but it is a good idea to get yourself a keyboard hooked up if you're using an Xbox. I'm sure it's compatible with PlayStation now, but there's just so many things to select in this game, and having a keyboard just allows you to assign and configure a few more options that you can quickly adjust whilst you're in game, rather than having to come out and select things. Usually I have KERS and DRS selected to buttons on the wheel if I'm actually using, for example, a Formula 1 car or Formula X, anything that's like that, or an LMP. But I've currently got the brake bias selected to use the keys on the steering wheel. A couple of other ones that I generally use quite often is the ABS and traction control, just to turn them on and off. But moving to the camera views, definitely these ones need to assign onto the keyboard so that you can intuitively set your field of view really quickly. A couple of other ones is the cycle motec and the car management. Definitely want to be able to select these on the move so that you can adjust your telemetry on screen and change your HUD, and maybe during the game you want to adjust your pit strategies. Now moving to the bulk of the whole video, really the force feedback. I have tried in the past RAW, which worked really well with the Fanatec wheel, but since an update it just all changed completely, and I'm now using immersive. Everything's on 100%, apart from the tone, obviously, as you can see, and the effects, which generally cause the wheel to bounce about a little bit too much if you have these high. And obviously there's the adjustment that you can do to the wheel. So let's actually move on to the wheel itself and go through its startup phase, and we can take a little look at the firmware that's being used on the wheel. I have tried using a more up-to-date piece of firmware or a new driver installed on the wheel, and it really did ruin it was quite noisy, the motor, so I instantly went back to motor 18, and as you can see the firmware itself is 639. Moving to the settings within the wheel, obviously I've got the wheel set to 360 degrees of rotation. We've already gone through that. Moving on to the force feedback, this is set at 75, but I do tend to adjust this depending on certain cars that I'm using. It's very easy just to incrementally change those. The brake pedal is set to 60, the drift mode -4, and the brake itself 3, and effects 30, and then the pulse, or I forget what the other one is, static or something like that, but generally I just use it on pulse. I don't think it makes a massive difference. And then this is me just turning a lap, showing you just how my wheel's set up, how close my screen is to the wheel itself, so I really do feel like I'm sat within the cockpit, and just adjust these really quickly using the keys on the keyboard to just change between certain cars. I might want to change the field of view slightly, or raise my vision up a little bit more to see the edge of the bonnet. Just numerous things that are really good to be able to adjust on the move. Again, just turning your traction control on or off, or the ABS, but just showing you how the wheel works. You know, I think sitting as close to the monitor as possible, in a good driving position, really, just sets it off, really. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. It's a little bit quicker than my last force feedback video, where I went through all the changes to reduce clipping. I will link that in the attached videos or in the description, but there's probably a few videos that could go along with this one that I'll link as part of the video itself. But I hope you've enjoyed the video, and please do hit that subscribe button if you're not yet subscribed to the channel. And I'm sure I'll be coming up with a few other videos, especially around the GT3 class. You can see me just doing a little bit of testing here at Laguna Seca, which will be the next GT3 inspired video. So thanks for watching as always, and ciao for now.